Hello and welcome to another or a continuation of a fanfiction reading. It's been quite a while since I've done this, but we're gonna get back into it in spectacular fashion with part 3 of Just Across the Way by Open Book, 1020. I don't know. It's kind of a complicated name, anyways. We're here for the 5th-ish chapter, 6th-ish chapter, called Sunday. So, yeah, this is gonna be good. Especially since, the last parts, I just love this. I love this one, so it's gonna be good. Ruby's POV. Man, for a Sunday, sure is slow, don't you think, Ren? I looked over at him. He was texting someone on his phone. Yeah, maybe the sunlight is just too bright for all the regulars. He laughed at our weebdom. I couldn't help but laugh with him. Did anything new come out? No Game No Life 0 didn't hit, did it? Attack on Titan Surprise Season 2 extension? What's happening, Ren? Tell me! Where is everyone? I shook him for effect. He chuckled. I think I would skip work if either one of those things happened, and you would be the first person I told. He ruffled my hair. Hey! Am I interrupting something? I turned around and Weiss was there, in the most plain clothes I'd ever seen her in. It was a white t-shirt, blue skinny jeans, and white tennis shoes that were slightly dirtied already. Her shirt hung a bit loose, exposing a bit more of her collarbone. I couldn't help myself. I blushed pretty hard. Oh boy. Weiss's POV. I stood there smiling with a soda that I hoped Ruby would like. I had worn some more casual clothing, which I rarely do, if ever, but I felt Ruby should see me in something other than my dress and heels. Ruby blushed and rubbed the back of her head nervously. No, just weeby things. What are you doing here? I was here because I didn't think of an excuse to be here. I was just around and thought you'd appreciate a drink. I walked up and set it on the counter. She looked at the soda, then back at me. Just for me? She pointed at herself. I started looking at the various anime things in the store. There were things that resembled posters, but open and rolled like scrolls. There were plushies and things that looked like normal posters. A lot of posters. A lot of the aforementioned items had very sparsely dressed women and girls who looked underage on them. Yeah, that's anime. Yes, you're the only friend I probably have in this entire mall. I continued to browse those things. Nope. What? I lost my spot. I don't even know. Nope, Ruby said before opening the soda bottle and drinking half of it in one go. I looked at her questioningly. Nope, she said again. What do you mean, nope? Is she not my friend? I frowned unknowingly. Ruby didn't seem to notice. Yang, there you go. +1 friend, she giggled and finished the rest of the soda. She followed with a very unladylike burp. Excuse you, Ruby, is that any way to act in front of Weiss? The boy she had been horsing around with said disapprovingly. Sorry, Weiss, and excuse me. By the way, this is Ren. He's like my big brother, but not really, she announced excitedly while pointing at the boy. Nice to meet you, Weiss. Ruby speaks highly of you, he said, waving casually as he did so. It's nice to meet you too, Ren. I looked over at Ruby. Ruby talks about me? I was curious for sure. She definitely does, saying things like, Ruby hit him in the head with her empty plastic bottle. She looked back at me. I have no clue, zero knowledge of any of that. Ruby blushed and put on that unconvincing grin. She was a horrible liar. Okay. I went back to browsing as if I didn't care. I heard Ruby exhale heavily. My phone buzzed. I took it out of my pocket and read the text. It was from Klein. Your father wants to speak with you. He wishes you to come home as soon as possible. Ruby, I have to go. See you tomorrow. Text me the details. I took my leave quickly, but I heard Ruby. Bye-bye. I'm really excited. I couldn't help a slight blush as I walked out of the store. Later on that day, Weiss's POV. I stepped into Father's study once again, as I had before, but I made one mistake. Weiss, why are you wearing such disgusting clothing? I had forgotten to change into a more proper outfit. Never mind, I don't care, look at this. he showed me his computer screen. It showed the weather forecast for the next 3 days, and on Monday, a storm was to move into our area. Do you want me to stay home? I asked, frowning. No, I'm glad that you're being social. It puts a good image out for the Schnee family name. If you still wish to go, please ask this Ruby Rose if it is okay for you to stay overnight in the event of a storm. It looks like a very rough one, and I would rather not have Klein or you in it. I will ask, Father. Is that all? I kept a straight face, but I was smiling and maybe blushing a bit inside. That will be all. Please use your phone to tell me any developments. He went back to focusing on his work. I turned and left. I almost wanted to sing happily. That night. Wow, that's... Alright. It's getting later and later. Ruby's POV. I was laying in my bed listening to some music when my phone buzzed. It was Weiss. Hey, Ruby, I have a question. Hey, Weiss, what's up? There might be a storm tomorrow, and my father told me to ask if it was okay if I stayed the night if the storm hits. Would that be okay? One sec, let me ask my dad. Hey, Dad? He was downstairs, but I'm pretty sure he heard me. What is it, Ruby? He was muffled, but we could still talk. Can that friend stay the night if a bad storm comes in? I asked, hoping. Of course! I wouldn't want your friend or any of her family to get hurt, he yelled back. I went back to texting. Hey, Weiss, my dad said yes, you can stay the night. You gonna pack now? Yay! I'll be packing. But do you want me to text you after? I don't have any chores afterwards. If you want to, I'll be up a while. Okay, talk to you later. Okay, talk to you soon. If we don't, see you tomorrow. Wait, you got the address from my earlier text. Yes, don't worry. I might be just as excited as you are. Okay, sorry. I'm so excited! It's fine, Ruby. Be back soon. I let out the breath I'd been holding. What did the hearts mean? She meant them as a friendly gesture, right? Probably. Weiss's POV. Were those hearts a mistake? She probably thinks I'm weird. I was packing frantically. I was both excited and nervous. I may possibly stay an entire night with Ruby. This will either be amazing or horrible. Ruby Rose, the only girl that has ever given me this feeling. The only person to ever give me this feeling. If only this wasn't so confusing. I finished packing and collapsed on my bed. I looked at my phone. Damn it. I typed a quick hey. A hey Weiss appeared. I sighed. Why'd I have to fall for her? Well, we kind of fell because of each other. Ruby, if only I could just say it. I love you. That's all, but I can't. Third person POV. Unbeknownst to Weiss, someone was lurking right outside the door and heard every little bit of her talking to herself. Well, dear sister, the someone backed away from the door. I seem to have some leverage. Oh, no! What? God damn it. Kind of... Fucking... What the fuck? Stupid ads. The visit. Weiss's POV. I'm about to enter Ruby's home. What if her parents don't like me? What if she has a brother and he starts hitting on me? Then what do I do? I wore some more casual clothing. I had on a light blue shirt with a matching miniskirt with shorts. I knocked on the door. Ruby's home was deep in the country, but it wasn't a ranch or farm. It was just secluded in a tall forest. The door opened and a tall blonde man stood there. He has a sweaty muscle shirt and gym shorts on. Hello there, you must be Ruby's friend. I'm Tai Yang, Ruby and Yang's father. He held out a hand, but retracted it quickly. Sorry, I was working out. Probably isn't the best idea to make contact with anyone. He laughed to himself. It's nice to meet you, sir. I'm Weiss Schnee. He smiled at me. I definitely know who you are. Surprised I didn't connect the dots when Ruby said her friend's name was Weiss. Never thought my baby girl would become friends with one of the richest families in the world. Ruby's up in her room. Go up the stairs and it's the third door on the right. You can't miss it. It's very distinct. He moved out of the way. If you need anything, just ask. Oh, and call me Ty. No need for formalities here, Mrs. Schnee. I'll do that if you refer to me as Weiss, sir. I smiled up at him to show I wasn't completely serious as I stepped inside the house. Okay, Weiss, have fun. Try not to break anything, but I don't think it would be you that breaks anything. He chuckled and waved me off. I went up the stairs and found the door. It was open, so I knocked on the door frame. The room was dark except for the TV, and I was greeted by a small dog pillow hitting me in the face. Ruby's POV. Dad, I told you not to bother me while I saw Weiss standing there holding my puppy pillow. Oh, Weiss, I'm so sorry. I thought you were my dad. I paused the anime I had been watching. I really hope I'm not your father. I'm just happy you didn't throw something harder than a pillow. Weiss's nose was still kind of red from the pillow hitting her. I got up and walked over to her. I booped her nose with my finger. Boop. She backed up and blushed. What was that for, you dunce? She didn't sound angry, more like confused. I switched the lights on and grabbed her arm, leading her to my bed. I sat her down and flopped down next to her. She giggled. This is my room. I put my hand next to my mouth and whispered, It's also the coolest one. From 2 rooms over, I heard Yang yell, No, it's not! Weiss looked at me. She seemed really confused. How did she hear that? I giggled. Yang has the inhuman ability to know whenever I say anything of mine is cooler than hers. It makes her hair tingle. That's what she told me. I don't know how hair can tingle. Weiss just stared. So, what was it you were watching? She asked, pointing at the screen. I had been watching Kill la Kill for the 8th time, and I paused at her perfect time, right as Ryuko was synchronizing with Senketsu. Sorry, I don't know anything about Kill la Kill. That's such a terrible idea for me to not know. Why is she naked? Weiss asked, turning red. It's not what it looks like. She's transforming into her battle form. I was trying to explain in a way she'd understand. Oh, it is at least cleverly censored. That's anime. Weiss smiled. What did you have planned for today? I couldn't hide my smile. I hopped off the bed and started pulling out snacks from underneath the bed. I pulled out various chips and dips, some other snacks, including some popcorn that had yet to be prepared. I ran over to my mini fridge and opened it so Weiss could see my assortment of drinks. I wanted to show you some of my favorite anime. If you want to watch some, I have other stuff. Or if you want to, I have other stuff to do too. I gave her a smile. Can we watch this one? It looks interesting, she asked, pointing at the TV. Sure, Kill la Kill is one of my favorites. I posed. Life fiber synchronized. Kamui Senketsu. I laughed and Weiss laughed with me. Hey Ryu, why is it so cold in here? Weiss was rubbing her arms. She was wearing a really cute outfit, but I guess maybe I had made the room a bit too cold. Oh, sorry. Last night you said you liked winter and cold things. I walked over to the thermostat for my room. Wait, you made it cold for me? She was blushing. Well, yeah, you're my guest. I'd like to make my room feel like home for you. I smiled at her. Okay, then leave it like this. We can just share this blanket, right? She said, grabbing the blanket from my bed. Sure we can. I switched the lights off. What do you want to drink, Weiss? Do you have any tea? I looked through the mini fridge for a bit. I found some in the back, but it was unsweetened. That's probably why it's in the back. I found some, but it's not sweetened. I held it up so she could see it. That's perfect. She held out her hands. Heads up, I said before I tossed it to her. She caught it and I grabbed my favorite soda. I hopped on the bed. I scooted close to Weiss and grabbed the blanket. I threw it over both of us and started looking for the TV remote. Hey Weiss. Yes, RWBY? Why did she stutter? Can you help me find the remote? Oh, sure. We started looking, I guess, and we found it at the same time. We both grabbed it. I looked up and so did Weiss. Our faces were inches apart. I could feel my cheeks heating up. She was blushing too. Jesus. Sorry, I said as she let go of the remote. I scooted away. No, it's okay, but I'm still a little cold. Do you want me to find another blanket? I asked, preparing to find one downstairs. No, but can you get closer? I think that would help tremendously. Oh, sure. I scooted even close before. I felt my bare legs touch. I blushed and checked my phone. 8:57. Today's going to be a great day, I said extremely quietly. Weiss's POV. I was practically cuddling with RWBY. We were so close. My heart was beating quickly again, like when we had lunch. Our legs touched and I inhaled quickly. I didn't want to breathe. I didn't move. I heard RWBY whisper something as she checked the time. She was facing the other way. Today's going to be a great day. I smiled. I leaned closer and whispered into her ear so she could know I heard her. It sure will be. She tensed up and I couldn't help stifle some laughter. Ruby pouted at me, but she was blushing, and soon she joined my laughter. We laughed together for a while. When we stopped, Ruby started the first episode of Kill la Kill. She got as close as she could and rested her head on my shoulder. I looked down at her. She was smiling. I went back to watching the show, and I couldn't help but smile too. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's do another chapter, and then we'll end this episode. Mom and the Sleepover. Weiss's POV. Ruby and I finished watching the entirety of Kill la Kill. All 25 episodes. Took us over 8 hours, but it was worth it. But I don't even know. I assume that was 8, 9-ish in the morning instead of 8, 9-ish at night. Because that'd be a little ridiculous, but whatever. Okay, Ruby and I both cried. It wasn't all bad, though. We held each other as we cried. The credits had just rolled for the final episode, and we were stretching. We hadn't moved very much for those 8 hours. Hey, Weiss, want to meet my mom? Ruby was smiling, but something seemed off about it. Of course, meeting your family has been quite fun so far. Her family was full of quirky characters, but they weren't at all uncomfortable to be around. Ruby handed me a jacket. Put that on, we have to go outside. I obeyed and put the jacket on. It was a nice jacket. It was even white. Ruby's was red, but red was her thing after all. The wind had picked up, signaling the storm was nearing the Rose household, or was it Xiaolong? I still had only shorts and my miniskirt on, so I knew my legs would get chilly. I put my shoes back on, which I had taken off soon after we started watching the anime. Why do we have to go outside? I asked. Ruby didn't answer. She was just leaning against the door frame with her hands in her jacket pockets. She was lucky she had sweatpants on. Come on, we gotta be quick. She gestured for me to follow. Dad, we're going to see Mom. Okay, just make it quick. The storm is about to hit us, Ty yelled from what I assumed was his room. We were out the door soon after. Ruby wasn't saying anything. She was just walking with her hands in her pockets. Ruby, why is She held up a hand to silence me. Just wait till we get there. I obeyed and waited till we arrived. We arrived at a cliff. There was a stone in the ground. It had a rose symbol on it. It was engraved with Summer Rose. Ruby, She held up her hand again. I obeyed once more. Hey, Mom, it's Ruby again. Sorry I haven't been here to chat. I have a job now. It's a real fun one. My coworkers are all nice. Ren is like a brother. He's one of the coworkers. I brought someone to see you. This is Weiss from the famous and rich Schnee family. Can you believe I met her at the mall? She works there too. I like her, so don't be too mean to her, okay? I looked at Ruby. I felt like crying. Her turn, Weiss. I wiped my eyes a bit before speaking. Hello, Miss Rose. I'm Weiss Schnee. It's nice that I could meet Ruby's wonderful parents. She's an amazing person. She's not perfect, but the quirkiness is, for the first time in my life, I can say welcome. I enjoy Ruby's presence, whereas other people like her would see my bad side. And between you and me, I began to whisper, I think I love your daughter. I swear I felt someone touch my shoulder and say, you have my blessing. Keep my precious little girl safe. For a moment, I swear I saw a woman who looked like Ruby, but older, standing in front of me, smiling. I rubbed my eyes. Weiss, we should go. It's starting to rain. Ruby grabbed my hand and started pulling me away. I looked at her, then back at the stone. The woman was standing there, waving goodbye. I blinked and she was gone. Back at the house. Ruby's POV. Oh, this is a really long chapter. Okay. Ruby's POV. Weiss and I had made it back home just as it was starting to come down hard. We were both a little soggy, but it would have been much worse if we had been caught in what was happening now. Dad greeted us when we came inside. You got back just in the nick of time. I thought I'd have to send rescue Zwei after you. I giggled and Zwei barked happily. I called him over and held him up for Weiss to see. This is our dog Zwei. He's an adorable little thing, isn't he? Weiss rubbed his head and Zwei licked her hand. Weiss smiled. I always wanted a pet as a child. She continued to pet Zwei until he was squirming in hands, wanting to be set back down. I set him down and he ran off. Did you ever get one? I asked Weiss as we were walking up the stairs back to my room. Get one of what? Weiss asked, confused. A pet. Did you ever get one? I asked again. Oh, no. Father said they're just good-for-nothing wastes of money. She looked depressed. It wasn't the cliche, you aren't responsible enough thing. I asked, giggling. I was trying to lift her spirits a bit. No, it wasn't that, she smiled. We reached my room, so I ran in and jumped on the bed. Weiss sat on the bed next to me. Ruby, can I ask you something? Weiss asked hesitantly. You just did, but sure, anything. Weiss's POV. How did your mom pass? I asked her slowly. It was probably a touchy subject for her. She went from lying down to a sitting position. She had cancer for as long as I could remember. Oh. There were times when it looked like she'd beat it and pull through, but it always came back. It was one of those times when she passed. I feel like she knew it was coming. Because the week before, she bought Yang Bumblebee and gave me some things. The day she went to the hospital, Yang and I both had an idea of what was going to happen. The doctor told us that Summer Rose had passed at 2:30 p.m., Thursday, March 6th. Of course, Dad cried. I cried. Even Yang cried. Mom was the kind of person who could get along with anyone. She always had, endless patience. I go and talk to her as often as I can. It almost feels as if she's always listening. Ruby wiped her tears. Ruby, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked. She waved her hand. It's fine. I promise. I miss her, that's all. She had more tears streaming down her face. I couldn't think of anything else to do. I pulled her into a hug. It's okay, Ruby. Your mother sounds like an amazing person. My mother, after she married Father, went into a downhill spiral. She drinks. She lashes out if anyone bothers her. Some of the servants have injuries from her, issues. Ruby looked at me. Ruby looked up at me. Can I ask something now? I looked into her eyes. Yes, of course, Ruby. Is that how this happened? She ran her finger over the scar over my left eye. I flinched, both from the memory and her touch. Yes, my mother threw a bottle and some glass cut me. I'm lucky to still have my eye. Ruby looked sad. What's wrong? I don't like the idea of you getting hurt, I smiled. Thanks. It rarely ever comes to anything like that anymore. We just avoid my mother. But what did your mom give you? Ruby lit up. Do you want to see? I smiled back at her. Of course I do. I let go of her and she ran to the closet. She rummaged through it for a bit. Found it, she turned around triumphantly, holding a beautiful, ruby red dress. Do you want to model it for me? I giggled. I was kidding. Do you want me to? She asked very nervously. I'd like to see you in something so formal. I've only ever seen you dressed casually. She blushed. Well, turn around. I obeyed it and I heard her changing. I will admit I slipped a small, tiny little peek. She was down to her undergarments. They were dark red. Of course, red was Ruby's color. Her body was perfect, even a bit curvy. Unfortunately, she caught me peeking, which had turned more into staring. Weiss, don't look! She threw the sweat she had taken off of me. Sorry. I turned back around and stayed that way this time. Oh, okay, I'm done. She turned around and saw... I turned around and saw Ruby with a dress on. I could see all the details. Her shoulders were bare, but her collarbone was covered by something like mesh. The chest area was open in the middle, but held closed by some straps. The skirt went about halfway up her knee. Ruby blushed. Horrible, right? I knew this was I cut her off. Amazing, I couldn't help but stare again. I guess I stopped paying attention. Ruby blushed even more. Weiss, you're staring. I looked away quickly. Sorry, I heard Ruby giggle. It's fine. I'm going to change into my pajamas. Now you can look. That last part made me blush, but Ruby couldn't see that. I heard her unzip the back of the dress. That's quite the skill. I always needed help with that. I took little peeks, tiny ones. Ruby saw each one, but didn't say anything. She was really red, though. She put on different sweatpants. These were white with a bunch of little roses on them, and a black muscle shirt with a heart with a face on it, and with the words "Love Tyrant" under it. Your turn, she said. She said sheepishly as she walked over to sit on the bed. Okay, didn't mean to hit that. Okay, you can look if you want. That was pretty hard to tell someone, even Ruby. I opened the backpack I used to carry all my stuff and pulled out my sleepwear, which was really a simple white nightdress. It was a little frilly around the collar area and had the Schnee logo on the right side. Wow, that's really stupid. The skirt went about halfway down to my knees. I could feel Ruby's eyes on me the entire time I was changing. But I never looked to check. She'd probably get embarrassed if I had. It was only fair that I let her do the same, right? That's the only reason I let her do it. Because I did it. Yes, of course. Okay. Ruby's POV. I thought I'd die. I saw Weiss change. If I was an anime character, I would have died from blood loss through my nose. She was perfect. That's it. Perfection. It made me feel a little jealous. Ruby, are you okay? I nodded slowly. Yep, totally fine, I said slowly. Oh, almost forgot. Weiss took out her hair tie and her off-center ponytail fell. It was the first time I'd seen Weiss's hair down. I only said one thing. Kawaii. Everything went black. I could faintly hear Weiss's voice, then Yang's, and I could see again. Yang was laughing hysterically. Weiss looked really worried. Yang, what if I killed her? Yang only laughed harder. She isn't dead. You just knocked her out. She continued laughing. Weiss pouted. Weiss, I'm fine. She jumped on me and hugged me, something very not Weiss. I thought I killed you, you big dolt. You scared me. Yang laughed so much we began crying. I only passed out, I said. Weiss looked confused. I'm going to leave before I die of laughter. Yang left the room, still laughing. Oh man, I'm dying. I have a question. Weiss let go of me and sat up. I stayed laying on my back looking up at her. This is serious, so no jokes. I nodded. Gotcha, I will answer seriously. I gave a winking salute. Ruby, are you, how to put this? Are you like a rainbow? Weiss asked. That's really stupid. I was confused at first, then I understood. I snorted and giggled. Do you mean, am I gay? I am, but shh, my dad doesn't know yet. I giggled and blushed. Why do you ask? I had an idea why she asked, and it made me giddy. No reason, just wondering, that's all. Weiss was doing pretty bad at covering it up. Weiss, are you the same as I am? I asked softly. I sat up and got what I can assume was a little uncomfortably close. Weiss turned red, but she didn't move away. She just looked down, and for once did the thing I do with my fingers. Yes, she murmured. What was that? I couldn't hear. I whispered. Yes. Instead of getting louder, she got softer. Weiss, is there a reason you peeked at me changing? I whispered practically into her ear. I was doing my best not to lose the cool, calm vibe I had of myself. I was catching on to what was going on, especially after that whispering she did to my mother. Weiss blushed even more. What do you mean? Why would I have a reason? I don't know what you're implying. She still didn't move. Weiss, you don't have to worry. If I was wrong about this, I will look like the biggest idiot, and Weiss will probably never talk to me again. I love you too. Mom, your advice better hold up here. I'm following my heart like you said. Ruby turned as red, or what? Jesus. Weiss turned as red as a human could. Are you messing with me? She asked sheepishly. This is the most nervous I've ever been. I backed away. No, I'm serious, princess. I gave her my trademark grin. Was I right? Weiss didn't look up, but she nodded. You were right. My arm shot up. Yay! Because if I wasn't, you would probably be yelling at me right now. I grinned. Weiss looked serious. My father can never find out. I'm serious, Ruby. Weiss looked even scared. He's a homophobe, isn't he? I asked her a little sadder. Can I ask you something? Of course you can. Do you want to be, I felt my cheeks heat up, my secret girlfriend? Weiss looked dumbfounded. Ruby, we've known each other for 3 days, 4 if you count when I yelled at you. Shouldn't we get to know each other better? I frowned. I mean, you know so much about me already. You've met my parents. I have a feeling my mom approves of you. She always told me to follow my heart. That's what I'm doing. I closed my eyes. I guess she didn't want it to happen yet, which is fair. I felt her hand touch my cheek. I opened my eyes. Weiss had something sinister lingering behind her eyes. She got really close. What is it you really want? She whispered into my ear. It made me shiver. She made a numb sound and nibbled on it. I tensed up. She pushed me down onto the bed and laughed. Well, what's so funny? I was confused. I did what you did to me. It's only fair. She smiled, and I couldn't help but smile too. So is it a yes or a no? A maybe? Weiss giggled. That's my way of saying yes, at least to you. My heart skipped a beat. I heard Yang running from her dorm. She appeared in the doorway. My hair tangled. Did you say you were cooler? Weiss and I giggled. I didn't say anything, sis. I just got a girlfriend before you. I stuck my tongue out at her. No way! That's it. I'm coming up with a plan. A plan for what? I asked her, doing my best not to antagonize her anymore. To get Blake to love me, Yang stormed off. Well then. That was it for this episode. It was stupidly long because that chapter was really long. And yeah, a lot of things happened. So next time we'll continue with part 4, which will include more chapters. We're sort of getting towards the end of what's currently been uploaded for story parts, but yeah, hopefully this will continue. Hopefully there will be more parts in the future. Hopefully the story will be finished, and yeah, it's good. It's good.